Hey Argos fans, Daniele Franceschi here with you again for the Argos Admirals. As you can see, I'm wearing my toque, and tomorrow afternoon you can certainly expect your Argonauts to be getting dressed up for the chilly conditions of Mosaic Stadium. Expect to see them wearing toques, jackets. It's going to be a chilling one. -10 and 5-kilometer winds expected for tomorrow's game in Saskatchewan at Mosaic. Big game, though, for the Argonauts. They have more important things to worry about than just the weather. So you can expect big, gruesome battle between the lines, between the tackles. That's right. It's probably going to be a running game tomorrow afternoon in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan, of course, equipped with a solid running attack led by Corey Sheets. And as we saw last week, the Argonauts look very, very vulnerable in that position as they gave up 43 touches for 260 yards along the ground, along with 4 touchdowns given up in company with Alex Brink, Chad Simpson, Will Ford, just to name a few of Winnipeg's runners from last weekend. But a bright spot for the Argonauts, the return of both Chad Cackard and Ricky Ray last week. Both played pretty well. Chad Cackard obviously was limited. He didn't really have many touches, only 8 carries for 50 yards rushing. Look for him to be more involved, definitely more involved tomorrow in a game where the weather might have a factor in how both teams approach it. Ricky Ray, on the other hand, 20 for 33, 383 yards, 4 touchdowns. He was fantastic. Jason Barnes looked like he found a comfort zone again last week. Chad Owens was more involved. So look for much of the same tomorrow afternoon, just maybe less pass attempts because, like I said, in a chilly and cold and loud environment, it's important to be equipped with a solid running attack. So I expect from both sides to really, the offensive lines need to be strong, the defensive lines need to be strong, and for the Argonauts, defensively, those linebackers and that defensive line that struggled last week are going to have to step up, and that means we need a bigger performance from a guy like Robert McCoon, who has been the stud of this defense, in the middle of this defense, clogging up that middle for the entire season so far. 82 tackles. He's crept into the top 5 now. He's actually ranked 4th in the CFL in tackles with those 82. He's been playing fantastic. It's going to be a very physical game tomorrow afternoon for sure, without a doubt. Saskatchewan, a lot of playoff implications on the line for both teams. Saskatchewan looking to improve and get maybe a home playoff game. They are still within reach of that, of course, in the final 2 weeks, trailing Calgary by just 1 game as they are sitting in 3rd and Calgary in 2nd. They have already clinched a playoff spot, but yet they're still battling for a lot tomorrow afternoon. For the Argonauts, it is the 2nd consecutive week now that they have an opportunity to clinch a playoff spot, the first since 2010. The Argonauts need either a win, and they're in, or Edmonton loss, and they are in. So there's a couple situations there. But most importantly, of course, the Argonauts can't go in on a losing note. You obviously want them to win some games. It would be refreshing to see that after losing 5 of their last 6. This team is struggling right now. They still don't seem to have an identity. They haven't put together a full 60-minute effort. They seem to lose games in just different ways every week. Last week, you have the offense playing spectacular, but a couple of turnovers, 1 special teams from Chad Owens and 1 on the offense from Chad Owens, derailed them. The defense let them down, giving up those 260 yards rushing, and of course, that led to the ultimate demise of the Argonauts, although they did put up 32 points last week. And of course, earlier on Thanksgiving Monday, back in early October, we saw Saskatchewan come into Toronto, defeat the Argonauts, put a big beating on the Argonauts. Weston Dressler, longest play of the season for the Riders in that game, had a big touchdown there. Corey Sheets, the longest run of the season for him, came in that game as well. So overall, the Rough Riders had a great game against the Argonauts last time out. The Argos are going to have to step it up, playing in a tough environment, chilly winter conditions out there. They're coming off 3 consecutive games from the Rogers Center, the comfy confines over there, downtown Toronto. So this is going to be a very difficult task for the Argonauts, but let's not be mistaken, they can do it. It is also a battle of the top 2 receivers in the Canadian Football League going head-to-head. That is Weston Dressler and Chad Owens. Owens creeping back up to 2nd after last week's performance against Winnipeg. Dressler obviously remaining number 1. He's been so consistent all year long. He's Saskatchewan's top option without a doubt, and he'll look to continue his success against the Argonauts tomorrow afternoon. So definitely some keys to watch on for the Argonauts there is obviously the corners who have struggled over the past few weeks. It's been unlike that Argonaut defense. Of course, Patrick Watkins a couple weeks ago against Montreal giving up a big touchdown play. We saw guys being taken in and out of the lineup. The likes of Ahmad Carroll to be one. He was back and forth in and out last week, finally reinserted again. But that's definitely a matchup to key on. They're going to have to stop Chris Getzlaff. They're going to have to stop Weston Dressler. They're going to have to stop Greg Carr. 3 potent receivers that can open up the field and also help the running attack of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That's certainly going to be a big key for the Argonauts tomorrow afternoon. And more importantly, though, I think the biggest key for the Argonauts is establishing a running attack. We've seen the lack of Chad Cacker and how it's hurt this offense, a lack of running attack, a lack of time management it's led to. As many reporters that I've spoken to this week leading up to this game, they were saying a stabilized running attack, a stabilized offensive line, more time possession would definitely do well for this team that is struggling. Controlling games, that is all part of it. And that all leads back to the defensive side of the football as well as last week where the 260 yards rushing came into play. If they would have had the ball more, it would have been a much less devastating run game on the side of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So definitely that is one thing to watch out for tomorrow afternoon. But as I said, watch out for this. They're going to be wearing those toques. They're going to be getting sweaters. They're going to be chilly out there. So if you're going to the game, we hope you are Argos fans. But if you are, make sure you're dressed properly. If not, please join us on Twitter or Facebook throughout tomorrow afternoon's game. 4 p.m. kickoff. TSN as always, CFL on TSN. And we hope to see you tomorrow afternoon. Till later, Argos fans.